culturally responsive education towards fostering equitable and inclusive pedagogy by Jorgen Amari, Pedaga consulting firm. All rights reserved, copyright 2023. Culturally responsive teaching is a pedagogy that recognizes the importance of including students' cultural references in all aspects of learning. The fact that such a definition covers factors that are individual and collective renders it pertinent while examining group diversity. The above definition lends itself to and offers room for ownership and self-determination, as well as challenging traditional theories of learning. It offers opportunities for culturally mediated instruction, as well as utilizing collaborative, non-competitive learning strategies and goals. One way to promote a culturally sensitive learning environment is through cooperative learning, where everyone is encouraged to participate in the process of learning, thus helping them develop their empathic abilities and trying to find a solution to a problem in the group. This type of learning environment promotes dialogues and discussion, as the student needs to be regarded as an individual who is willing and motivated to participate in and contribute to productive discussions. The relationships between individual empowerment in various societal contexts can lead to the topic of identity as a potential resource that can be fostered and developed through a variety of opportunities presented in social environment. Thus, it can be said that the student's first language can have a crucial part in relation to the second language learning through social empowerment. In this process, students tend to draw on their first language abilities as a tool in order to empower themselves. Education has the capability of being a site of empowerment, which suggests that it is important that educators create teachable moments during which authority, expertise, and collaboration play out in order to create new knowledge that is based on a free flow of ideas and experiences. This could demonstrate that students have something valuable and worthwhile to share, especially in relation to cultural issues, and can articulate their ideas and experiences for teachers who are willing to listen. Indeed, teachers can gain access to new perspectives on teaching and learning language if they form meaningful partnerships with their students and encourage participatory and culturally responsive practices. Increasingly diverse educational settings require that teachers prepare themselves for an educational environment in which there are students with different sociocultural backgrounds and have unique personalities, skills, and capabilities. The pluralism and complex interdependent reality of schools, in terms of diversity and its concomitant challenges, cannot be neglected. Creating a culturally responsive learning environment can serve as a model which can be utilized in order to meet the needs of those learners who might otherwise feel marginalized or even alienated. Thus, in an educational environment where students' cultural background is regarded as an important and valuable resource, student engagement and communication improve. In such an environment, difference is perceived as an added dimension to one's educational experience. Fostering an atmosphere of debate and discussion is another way teachers can provide more autonomy to students so that they can develop their knowledge and skills necessary for their subject. In other words, cooperation serves as a framework in which interaction can facilitate the student's attainment of necessary skills. Culturally responsive teaching emphasizes the importance of using a so-called lens to acknowledge linguistic and cultural diversity in the classroom. This culturally responsive pedagogy acknowledges students' cultural differences, asserting that mixing such differences in classroom practices may lead to increasingly successful outcomes for students in school. In a multicultural educational setting, understanding culture as a shared perception of the meaning of those collective norms and values can play a key role in creating an environment where differences are welcomed and appreciated. Sometimes schools and programs have ignored issues of identity, privilege, and social disadvantage, and thus have failed to instill a sense of self in their students. Communicating a sense of autonomy to students empowers them to communicate their beliefs and values, and thus helps them usher in a more just and equitable society. A culturally responsive educational system can not only influence how identities are appreciated and formed, but also help influence social and structural inequalities. Ultimately, it is crucial to highlight the need and intent to establish a new pedagogical framework for teaching in a specific context and for all teaching in a broader, dynamic, ever-changing societal context. We find ourselves engaged with and interacting within a newly emerging society, which is constantly in a process of diversifying and whose diversity must be owned, harnessed, and members deployed effectively for the benefit of all and for the emergence of a thoughtful, inclusive, and equitable society.